let's fast forward now a couple of years to March of 2008, and Aiden and Ella and Ben are living in Paris. Anya and I have just moved to Paris. It's our first weekend, and I'm sitting in their kitchen while Aiden's making something delicious to eat, and Ben, as it turns out, is standing behind me, staring at me. And after a while, he comes around and he looks at me with an expression I imagine most of you have seen at one time or another, and he says to me, "You have a lot of lines on your neck." And I'm mildly distracted, and I look over at him and I say, "Well, you know, Ben, that could be." And he looks at me with this kind of clinical detachment, like a doctor standing at the foot of the bed giving very, very bad news to a patient, and he says, "I think you're almost a senior." And that was that. Another month or two later, we're still in Paris, and now I'm on a mission for Aiden because it's his anniversary, but he's had to fly back to the Bay Area to make his rounds. And so he's called me and he asked me to take Ben out to a florist shop that's not too far from the apartment and buy some flowers from Ella. Now, at that time, we had visitors who we had brought with us, one of whom was the young man who became known as the Oracle of Livermore. And he and his girlfriend were there at the apartment, and Ben and I left to go get flowers. And the interesting thing for me that happened at the florist shop was we looked at various flowers. This is Ben's thing to pick for his mom. And at some point, he wanted to smell the flowers. And he'd been a little bit picky. I thought this was going to be a straight in and out surgical military procedure. But Ben's really taking his time. And at some point, he sees a flower or flower arrangement he likes. And he tells the florist, this French woman, he's going to take it outside. And as he leaves, I throw my eyes up in the air and I look over to her as if to say, "Can you believe this?" And she's kind of awestruck, and she looks back at me and she says, "No, he's right. It's too cold in here." So I thought that was actually pretty special. And those are pretty much my recollections of young Ben, along with his magician acts and his total fearlessness in front of any audience. My impression is that this young man can do anything he wants with his life, whatever he puts his mind to. So go for it, Ben. Take care.